Spiritual malady, disease of the soul, a serious problem. So many emotions we seek to escape, thinking we are in control is the mistake that we make. We get so caught up in the darkness of our mind, it captivates us into thinking hope is something that's impossible to find. So as we slowly get consumed by all the lies in our mind, we're destroying ourselves as if our death certificate is already signed. That then 1% of us wonders, what if the stars aligned? Then maybe I'll get lucky and find an out of some kind. Though the rest of you believes you're not worthy of that kind of luck, so we creep back into the shadows as we search for a buck. So just for a moment we can be free of the torment that exists within our head, recklessly risking our lives by scoring and using. We don't care if we end up dead. All we can do is react to what the disease says in our head, convinced we're no one and nothing if our addiction's not fed. But as I fell from grace and crashed hard at rock bottom, everything I once had was so seamlessly forgotten. So I got up and I stood up, and I was fed up of living in this cycle of pain. The addiction was like a shapeshifter in my brain, and he was making me insane. An enemy, so professional, so obsessional. He had captured me in shame, slowly killing me as he convinced me to poison every drop of blood in my vein. Then a gentle light transcended the walls addiction had built, showing me there was a way out despite all my guilt. Although still consumed with shame, I wasn't afraid of trusting the light that had came, for I had already trusted the demons in my brain as they drew me in with promises that were born from deceit, and I plucked up the brave to let out a whisper as I admitted I was beat. And from the prison of my own making, I knew I was breaking. I fell to my knees in defeat. I took a deep breath and cautiously rose to my feet. Delusion and confusion dissipating with every step that I took. With every step my hope grew, and ahead I began to look. I knew it was going to be tough, but what I had just fled from had been insidiously rough. And I knew that in time, if I could just learn enough, I'd realise that recovery is possible when you find someone to help you, analyse you as you discover that you are powerless to the disease as it overwhelmed you. So you ask a higher power for help to come and stay humble and true. But remember that even though the program is simple, we mustn't get complacent, because if we get lost back inside, a relapse becomes adjacent. The only way to succeed is to choose, once having been freed, that brokenness can be restored and you can live a life that's redeemed. So now you're not dying, and now you're alive. Close your eyes, take a moment and scroll through your archive. Acknowledge all the time that you spent barely surviving, and remind yourself of what you have now and use it to inspire you to start thriving. Just keep moving forward, one step, 1 hour, 1 day at a time, and with every choice decide recovery can be mine. Together we remain able, and there's always room for you to come just as you are and sit at our table, because that's where you can discover how together we can recover.